Thank you so much for meeting with us. My name is Caitlin Ma, the Director of Customer Service at Great White International Airport.
And my name is Nawal Wasim, the Director of Operations at Great White International Airport.
We are here today to discuss with you the solution to the winter coat problem at Great White International Airport, since we know that many customers who travel to warmer climates have heavy winter coats that they wear when they are here, but not when they reach their destination. Your coat check service idea has great potential to solve this problem, but first we should determine the logistics.
The coat check service should be located at each gate because passengers may want to wear their winter coats in the airport, but take it off before they board their flight. This way, we maximize the amount of time that each passenger has access to their coat while they are still in the cold location, but prevent the need to find space on the plane for the coats. By being located at each gate, the passengers can also decide last minute whether or not they would like to keep their coats with them or give it to our service.
We believe that this coat check should cost the passenger $7 per coat that they check in, and then an additional $1 per day that the coat remains in the airport. If the passenger will not be returning to the Great White International Airport for 1 month or more, then they should only have to pay the $7 flat fee and then an additional $1 per week instead of per day that the coat remains in the airport. The amount charged should be capped at $20 per coat, which is including the flat fee, because passengers who are traveling in families and may be checking in more than one coat should not need to pay an excessive amount for the coat check-in service. Additionally, the customer should be charged after their trip ends and not beforehand, because certain passengers may be gone for an unknown amount of time.
This coat check-in service will help Great White International Airport because it will solve the issue of passengers not being able to fit their larger winter coats into their luggage or carry-ons and diminish their frustrations about needing to bring their coats to a tropical destination. While passengers are satisfied with their experience at the Great White International Airport, it will develop customer loyalty and they will return for more of the service, and may even refer other people to the airport, which benefits the airport's reputation. This coat check service will also bring in profit for Great White International Airport on top of satisfying its customers.
Airline employees at the ticketing counter can communicate the coat check to travelers using the speaker system. When each passenger arrives at the gate, they will routinely hear the airline employee stating on the speaker, "Any passenger who would like to check in a coat can come to the counter." This way, the passenger can learn more about the service and then can decide for themselves if they would like to check in a coat. By repeating the statement on the speaker every 5 to 10 minutes, both passengers who arrive early or last minute will hear about the coat check-in service.
On top of large coats, passengers may have winter boots or other cold weather accessories that they wish to check in at the airport instead of bringing along with them to their destination. To accommodate for this, your airport should allow passengers to check in these other objects if they are 20 pounds or less. You should charge the same $7 flat fee and additional $1 per day for each item that they check in. By restricting the object to 20 pounds or less, you can ensure that the object will not be a burden on the airport to store while still satisfying the passenger.
Liability issues with the coat check-in service may result if the airport loses an item of the customer. Although this will hopefully be a very rare occurrence, it is possible that this will happen. So to address this issue, each passenger who checks in a coat should sign a short document that states that they cannot sue the airport for losing their belongings. However, the customer is entitled to a full refund for the coat check-in service. If their belongings are lost, we also strongly encourage the airport to offer monetary compensation to the customer in the form of free flights or other services.
We foresee the need to hire one coat check employee per gate. The coat check employee can work with airline employees at the gate to store coats on a rack and then shuttle the rack to a storage unit at the airport where all coats will be kept. Since the coat check service benefits both the airport and the airline employees and coat check employees working together is reasonable for the purpose of meeting and exceeding the expectations of the passengers.
We believe that the Great White International Airport should offer the coat check service during the months of October to April. This 7-month period is generally when the weather will be the coldest in the city and the months that you can expect customers to be traveling to a warmer destination where they do not wish to bring their heavy winter coats.
A customer service mindset is the emphasis on consistently improving customer value and building a relationship with trust and customer loyalty so that the customer will return and use the service or good again. Customer service mindsets will create long-lasting and continuous support and relationships between the customer and the business. This can be demonstrated with managers or business owners and employees continuously making efforts to not only create better customer service and valuing the needs of the customer with problem solving and providing above and beyond service, but doing so with commitment and passion so that the customer feels that their needs are being fostered and will continue to be fostered as long as they visit and use a certain product or service. When considering a customer service mindset with the coat check service at Great White Airport, employees of the airport and the coat check service will be responsive to the customer's needs and listening to their feedbacks and thoughts about the service. After demonstrating attentive and active listening to the customer, the employee will be able to respond in accordance to the business policies and regulations of the coat check and explain to the customer why these policies and regulations are important to maintain the image and integrity of the coat check, but also to benefit the customer and make sure that their coats and items will be safely insured and kept.
Interpreting business policies to a customer or client will help to ensure that the customer or client sees justification behind the company's actions and understands the reasoning behind them. Interpreting business policies involves using clear language and limiting professional jargon so that the customer or client will be able to best understand the policies without any confusion or misunderstanding that can arise with business language. An employee must define what a business policy is, explaining that it is a guideline that the company sets for all of its employees in order to make sure processes run smoothly and to create universal and consistent treatment when issues arise. Interpreting the business policy should include why that policy is in place, an explanation to why that policy contributes to the brand and image of the company, and how it fits within the company's values. Employees interpreting business policies to customers and clients must learn to apply these policies in a uniform way to different situations and scenarios where that policy is applicable. The employee should keep a calm state when interpreting policies to best explain why this policy would apply to the specific situation which the customer or client is inquiring about, and must explain why this policy is important to maintain the integrity of the company. At Great White Airport, interpreting the business policies of the coat check to customers would help the customer to understand the policies and why they are needed for the coat check, but more importantly, doing so would explain why the customer will benefit in the long run by making sure their personal items are safe and will be there for them when they return, without any issues or stress to worry about while they were traveling.
The importance of meeting and exceeding customer expectations is so that the customer is satisfied with the service in which they paid for. However, in order to engage customers into returning for more of the service, you must exceed their expectations so that the service leaves an outstanding impression in the customer's mind. By exceeding the passenger's expectations, not only will that passenger return, but will also benefit the airport's reputation through things such as word-of-mouth referrals, online reviews, or social media posts.
Anticipating unspoken customer needs is to think like the customer and provide service that benefits them without being told or requested by the customer. A company must know the demographics of their customers and being able to gauge what their needs might be and place themselves in the position of the customer. Allowing for customer input and valuing customer feedback and ideas will give the customer a sense of importance in the company and will let their thoughts be heard and considered. Personalized tracks and understanding demographics will help the employee and company to anticipate the needs of customers without having to ask the customer. This plays into the feedback valued from the customer as it develops a further understanding of the demographics and will lead to a more accurate and beneficial services to meet the customer's needs. At Great White Airport, the coat check would need to anticipate unspoken customer needs by identifying and understanding customer demographics to best navigate their needs and wants in a coat check. If the customer is flying to a warm destination during spring break from a northern city, which Great White Airport is located, it can be anticipated that their coats will not be needed on the trip and that the coat check would be a viable option for them to limit the amount of baggage they are carrying while traveling. By employees of the coat check accurately understanding the demographic of the customer, especially depending on what time of year it is and the customer destination, the needs of the customer will be well met and satisfaction will increase to further build consumer loyalty.
Customer service allows for the company to have a relationship with the customer. Customer service is the pipeline between the company and the customer. Customers' issues with the company or questions in order to better their service or product is handled by customer service, where it is the customer service job to relay the ideals of the company and maintain the image of the company while still tending to and responding to the customer's needs. Employees need to remain calm and understanding when dealing with the customer's needs to best foster the relationship pipeline between a company and a customer, as the employee acts as a representative of the company when dealing with the customer's concerns. When employees maintain consistent and reliable customer service to consumers, the selling relationship is fostered between the customer and the company as the customer feels that their needs are being seen and being responded to. This improves customer satisfaction and increases likelihood of customer loyalty when selling relationships between the company and the customer are seen positively and satisfying the customer. Customer service is the most important part in a business when customer loyalty needs to be developed, as customers value their thoughts being heard and responsiveness from a company through customer service. At Great White Airport, the coat check will demonstrate customer service that will be responsive to the customer's needs in order to build the selling relationship that will ensure further use of the coat check. When customers have questions or concerns about the coat check, employees will be able to respond in ways that meet the airport's business policies and guidelines, but also benefit the customer in a committed way that shows individual attention to further increase customer satisfaction and loyalty when developing selling relationships.
The concept of price in the hospitality and tourism industry is dependent on a variety of factors which can help to determine the price and justify it to customers. Prices fluctuate concerning factors such as location, time of year, branding, and services included. Due to these factors contributing to price fluctuations, the concept of price is changing constantly in the hospitality and tourism industry. Price is a tool to increase company revenue, but is also a tool to foster further customer loyalty. When customers have high satisfaction rates with prices that they agree upon, they are more likely to return to the service provider and provide their business again. The concept of price services to gain the effects of customer loyalty from customer satisfaction while considering the fluctuations in price that can occur from location and seasonal changes among other factors. For the Great White International Airport to gain this loyalty from passengers, the coat check service should be the reasonably priced $7 flat fee plus the additional $1 charge per day or month that we discussed earlier.
A competitive advantage is the advantage or edge a product or service will have over other competitors in the same industry. Competitive advantage will allow for a company to further increase customer satisfaction from the advantage that the customer will have over the competitor's product or service, and further foster a company-customer relationship to increase customer loyalty. When customer loyalty is built, it allows for the company to possibly increase revenue and profit as the advantage that company has leads to it being perceived as worth the value. If customer value and profits both increase as a result of competitive advantage, the company will be able to hold more control and more influence in the market and industry that the company is involved in. This increases popularity of the product and will continue to increase the competitive advantage, customer loyalty, and profitability. This reasonably priced and convenient coat check service that we have laid out for you will give the Great White International Airport this competitive advantage over other airports, since you are essentially going above and beyond to satisfy your airport's customers. Customer loyalty will increase, and as a result, airport profits will increase as well.
Thank you so much for your time and meeting with us today to solve the Great White International Airport's winter coat issue. We hope that this coat check service will bring about plenty of benefits to the airport, and we look forward to seeing this service play out.